Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all to CatNest online classes. CatNest is an ISO certified computer institution, and the managing director is Mr. Prakash HM. We are located at 4 different branches. One is in CatNest Rajajinagar, CatNest Basankudi, CatNest Sheshadrapuram, and CatNest Malleshwaram. The courses offered are CAT courses, accounting courses, development IT courses, digital marketing, animations. And the agenda of today's class is in Tally, we'll learn about the cost centers and categories and the double entry vouchers. We'll begin with that. I'll go with the Tally software. As taught in the earlier classes, once you access into the software, give that time to process and it will pop up accordingly. And every time I teach you a new topic, I'll teach you with the new company creations, which will make you avoid confusion between the previous work to this. I want you people to practice all the topics in the same way so that it avoids your confusion. Once you are done with all the topics, you can go for starting the creations of all the topics in one company itself and practice. So until you finish practicing, follow creating a new company for new topics. So I'll go for create company. As today's topic is cost centers, I'll create the company as cost center itself. It's left to your comfort. You can give any name. You can give all the details. I'll just select the state and I'll skip this detail. So I'm done creating a company. As discussed, we are going to learn about cost centers and category. So in the configuration screen, I have to enable the cost centers. So now here on the left hand side relating to accounting, I have the 3 different configurations. Out of that, one of that is enable cost centers. So I have to enable it. Only then I can use all these features in my Tally. If you don't enable here, you will not get these options in your Tally. So this enable cost centers should be as yes. And don't change any of the details. GST no, and give enter and follow accept this screen, which means you are done with creating a company and enabling the cost centers that is required for you. And now we are in gateway of Tally screen, and one more request is that make sure that you'll be handy with the pen and paper so that whatever the details I do tell here, you can just take a rough notes out of that. If not, you may skip any of the shortcut keys and find it difficult. So we'll go for create. So now, as studied in the yesterday's class, if you want to enter the vouchers, before that we have to create a ledgers. So under the respective groups, I have to list them. All these ledger creations are based on the transaction. So one transaction ನಡೆದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಲೆಡ್ಜರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ. ಆ ಲೆಡ್ಜರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ದಟ್ ಲೆಡ್ಜರ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಸ್. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲಿಂದ ವೌಚರ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇವತ್ತು ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ಲೆಡ್ಜರ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಡನ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ, I'll tell you the reason why do you use it. Okay, so firstly I'll go for ledgers. I'll create computer ledger. Under the group fixed asset, and if that is not showing you a detail relating to cost centers, what you have to do is Control I for the detail view. Here cost centers applicability, this option should be converted into yes. And the second one I want is furnitures. Under the group fixed assets itself, and I want the cost centers, so Control I, cost centers applicability yes, it is by default yes, you can accept. And I want Harish ledger to show the capital investment, so I have to group him under the capital account. Same as Raghav into the capital account and accept this. Production machine, under the group fixed assets again, I need the cost centers for this. Control I is the shortcut key for that. So cost centers applicability will be yes. And I want to have a bank account to operate with. I'll go with SBI under the group bank account. We'll go with commissions under the group indirect income. Commissions payable under the group indirect expense. So these are the few examples that I have given you. So based on the requirement, you can just add on your ledgers. We'll give escape. We'll come back to gateway of tally screen. And now the work is relating to cost centers. I'll tell you why do we need the cost centers in cost category. The very one example, if you purchase one kind of furnitures, you can just show it as if I have bought one furniture costing so and so, done. But if you purchase more number of furnitures of different categories, in the voucher if you want to display as if which are the different categories costing different amount. So at that point of time, if you want to apply detailed information relating to the category of furnitures, you can use cost centers and cost categories. So that is the way we use. And one more example I can give you is more Reliance Fresh. So they'll have different wide range of product offering to their customers. So at that point of time, we have two divisions. One is cost centers and cost category. I'll show you. Create cost centers, it's there. Cost category is not displayed. To display it, we'll go for show more. So it displays the cost centers as well cost category. So I'll tell you, cost category means the main division. Cost centers are the subdivision of the different categories. The examples of Reliance Fresh or more, we'll get back to there. So we'll have a wide range of products offered. We'll have clothings, groceries, we'll have snacks there, or we'll have home appliances, etc. So all these are called as categories. Under this category, I'll have so many number of sub-products. So when it comes to clothings, I'll not have only clothings. I'll have menswear, kids wear, women's wear section. So all these are called as cost centers. The main division is cost category. The subdivisions are cost centers. And same wise, when it comes to home appliances, that is a cost category. The subdivisions that will be your cost centers such as refrigerator, washing machines, or your mixer, grinder, anything. So this way you have to differentiate and categorize the products accordingly. Firstly, we'll get into cost category creation. Create. And now first example I do take is furnitures. So write down as furniture here. Allocate revenue items, yes, and allocate non-revenue items, yes. Why? Because if you don't give these two things as yes, you will not get the information relating to furnitures in your vouchers. So if you want to get a detailed voucher, to enable that, you have to allocate revenue items, yes, and allocate non-revenue items also, yes. And then machine, allocate revenue items, yes, allocate non-revenue items also, yes. And production machinery, allocate revenue, yes, non-revenue also, yes. So all these were my main categories. So under these categories, I'll also have certain subcategories as I have explained to you. So to create that, we have to get into cost centers. For that, I'll give escape. I'll come back to the gateway of tally screen. I'll go for create and I'll choose cost centers. Before creating cost centers, you have to create the cost category. If you don't do so, you will not find it. So here I can see the option as of category and name. So firstly, I have created a furniture category. So I have to type as furniture. Here I can find the furnitures in the dialog box. Just to select that. So on this furnitures, I have computer chairs. So I'll prepare computer chair named cost centers. So under primary, just accept this. We have saved. The second division is computer tables. We'll accept this. Next, office chairs, and next office table. Accept. So next category I did was machine. Just give backspace. In the place of furniture, select the machine. So under this machine, I'll go for creating computer 2 gigahertz. That is a capacity of a computer. And the second one I create is computer 3 gigahertz. So I'm done with creating two different machine cost centers. So the next I'll move on to is production machineries. Give backspace, select production machine. So under this I'll have winding machine. Accept this. Second I select this packing machine. So these are the two I want. So by now I'm done creating the cost categories and cost centers. So I hope the picture is clear for you people. We have to learn the vouchers, that is of double entry vouchers. So in the Gateway of Tally screen, select the vouchers option. So we'll get into the voucher screen. I'll just summarize everything again. The shortcut keys for vouchers. F4 voucher is for contra entry, that is a transaction between a company and its self bank, that is depositing of money into your bank or withdrawal of money from your self bank. F5 payment voucher, whenever you have paid transaction you have to use payment voucher. Receipt, F6 is the shortcut key. When you have the received transaction, whenever you receive money from the outsiders, you have to use the receipt voucher. So these are the basic voucher we have studied. And the same these three vouchers, I'll just discuss about the double entry. So know the difference between single entry to double entry. So single entry is that a kind of journalizing wherein we'll consider only the cash and bank account and the other details are ignored. And the vouchers raised on the single entry or the accounts maintained on single entry are not much accurate. If you use a double entry system and if you apply the golden rules, then the transaction whatever you enter into your tally or enter into your accounts will be of much accurate and you will get a clear picture of your company's transactions. So that is the difference between single entry to double entry. When it comes to a business organization, if the business is small in nature, they can choose single entry method. If a business is huge in size, if they have more number of transactions, they have to choose the double entry and enter their transactions. And before that, I want to raise a question for you people. So can any one of you answer me the golden rules of accounting? So that's fine. That's good that I can find more number of answers in the chat box. Thank you. So now we'll get into the vouchers. Come back. So I have to convert this voucher screen into single entry to double entry. The shortcut key we use is Control H. So here I can find double entry and single entry mode. So which way you want to, you can just select it. So now we want to enter the double entry. So select double entry and strike on it so that I'll get the double entry vouchers. So you should know the difference. Here, example, in the double entry voucher, I can find the particulars column and I can find debit and credit column. So whichever one account should be debited and the other opposite of that should be credited. And that is the rule of a double entry. And we'll go according to the transaction now. So the transaction number 1 is purchased furnitures worth of rupees 3 lakhs. That is by paying them through the check. So if I have paid through the check, then I'll pay that to them from my bank account. So you have to consider that. So out of 3 lakhs rupees of furnitures, I'll show you up the entry so that you can understand. So the total amount you spent on purchasing a furniture is 3 lakhs rupees. Out of 3 lakh, you have to divide the amount into computer tables, computer chairs, office tables and office chairs. So that is a procedure. And whenever you purchase a fixed set, we have to enter a payment voucher as explained in yesterday's class. So we'll get into F5 payment voucher. And as I'm purchasing a furniture is coming into my business. Debit what comes in. That is a real rule. For assets, we have to apply a real rule. So furniture is coming in, have to debit the furniture's account. So furniture's account is debited. Here TR indicates debit, CR indicates credit. That is for the worth of 3 lakhs. I'll strike on the enter. As soon as I'll get a cost centers and category column where I can divide the 3 lakhs rupees into different furnitures. So firstly, the furniture comes under the category furnitures. So select the category as furnitures. So under this, office chair is for rupees 50,000, and then office table is for 50,000. And the next division I had is computer chairs. I'll enter this into 1 lakh rupees, and computer tables that into 1 lakh rupees. In total, it is costing me how much? 3 lakhs. And later, I'm making a payment to the person from whom I have purchased it through the check. So if I pay a check, the amount will get out of my bank account. So I have to credit my bank account. So credit SBI, because that is a bank account I have created in the lectures. And for this, the rule is personal rule. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. My bank is giving the money to the outsiders. So crediting the bank account, rupees 3 lakhs. So you can specify the details of check, and you can apply an instrument number, which means a check number, and the instrument date, check date, whichever you have provided them to the payment, and the narrations will be being furnitures purchased. So if that is clear, give me the answer in the chat box. Accept the screen. And the next example is you're purchasing a machinery that is out of I'll give you an example. That is, you're purchasing a machinery for rupees 1 lakh, and you are making a payment in the cash form. Okay, and 1 lakh rupees machinery anta ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ computers 2 gigahertz to 50,000 rupees, and computer 3 gigahertz is for 50,000 rupees. So that is my transaction. I have to enter it. Again, it is a fixed asset. I have to enter a payment voucher. Strike on the F5 function key, and same rule. Computer is also an asset. Debit what comes in. So computer account should be debited for the value 1 lakh rupees. If you enter 1 lakh rupees and strike on enter, you will get the cost centers in category. Under this, I have divided the computers into the machine category. So select machine. So under the machine, the cost centers are computer 2 gigahertz. The value for this is 50,000. Then computer 3 gigahertz. That is for the value 50,000 again. In total, it will sum into the 1 lakh rupees. And I'm making a payment through cash. And for cash, the rule is real. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So the cash is going out. I have to credit the account. So credit cash. How much rupees will I pay? Obviously 1 lakh rupees. And give enter. A negative cash because I have not shown a cash balance in my company. Being computers purchased. So we are done making the entry of second one. And the next transaction we'll go for is purchased of a production machineries for the value of 5 lakhs. So 5 lakhs rupees again, and production machineries ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. And out of that, winding machinery is for 2 lakh rupees, and packing machinery ಬಂದು 3 lakhs rupees ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಇವಾಗ ಎಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಹೇಗೆ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಥ್ರೂ ದಿ ಚೆಕ್ಸ್. ಸೊ F5 ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ವೌಚರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ, and Again, go for selecting production machineries. The value I told you is 5 lakh rupees in the total. Enter 5 lakh rupees in the debit column. The rule is same again. And the category I have repeated is production machinery. Select production machinery category. Under this, winding machine is for rupees 2 lakhs and packing machine is for 3 lakhs rupees, summed up into 5 lakh. And I have paid them through check. So crediting my bank account of rupees 5 lakhs. And the narration what you write for this is being machines purchased for production. And accept this. So these are the 3 different examples for payment voucher in double entry. And next one I'll move on to is receipt voucher. So assuming that I am receiving the money from the outsiders, so we'll see for the capital investment itself. F6 receipt. So yesterday I gave the example of a capital investment in the single entry. Today we'll learn that in the double entry also. Whether you want it in single entry, you can show that in single, or if you want to show it in the double entry, you can show that in double entry, your wish. And now Raghav is investing rupees 8 lakhs into my business. He's investing that in the form of cash. Okay, the money is coming in. So I have to create ledgers of Raghav and cash. Cash is already there, we need not to create. And I have created Raghav's account. And now for Raghav I have to apply personal rule and cash is a real rule. So personal rule, debit the receiver, credit the giver. So Raghav has to be credited. And one more thing you have to observe is in the receipt voucher I'll see credit first. In payment voucher I'll see debit first. Keep in mind. So crediting, debit the receiver, credit the giver. Raghav is giving the money into my business. So Raghav account should be credited. He's giving how much rupees means 8 lakhs. So he's investing in the form of cash. And for cash we have to apply a real rule. Debit what comes in and credit what goes out. So debiting it because it comes into my business, cash account 8 lakhs rupees. So the narrations we write is being capital investment made. So is that clear? Let me have the information in chat box. And in the same way, Harish is investing money into my business in the form of check. He is giving me the money. The amount he is investing is 2 lakhs rupees. So again F6 receipt voucher, the rule is same. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. So credit the account of Harish because he is giving me money 2 lakhs and he is giving me in the form of check. So for that I have to apply a personal rule because bank is an institution. For institutions we should apply personal rule. The personal rule tells us as if debit the receiver and credit the giver. So if Harish is giving money and if my bank is receiving it, it is a debitor. So debiting my bank account 2 lakhs rupees. The narration what you write is being capital investment receipt. So that's it. It's clear. And the next entry we'll see is paid commissions. So paid commissions, again we'll take the example of Harish and Raghav itself. So if we are paying a commission, we have to enter payment voucher. So F5 payment voucher. And in this transaction, debit all expenses and losses if you pay it. If you pay a commission, debit all expenses and losses as per the nominal rule. So debit the commissions payable account. We'll take the example of 25,000. I need not to give the category. So one more thing, if you missed like this, you don't want the cost centers, but it is giving you the detail. So at that point of time, give backspace, come back to the commissions payable account, strike on Control Enter at a time. At a time you have to press on both the keys and then Control I will go for cost centers applicability. So this one you can convert it as no, so that it will not display the cost centers when I give the amount for that. It will not ask for classification. So strike on Enter, crediting cash. Assume as if I'm paying through cash, so the cash is going out. In the same way, assume you are receiving a commission. So if you are receiving, receipt voucher F6. So debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. So in the receipt, I'll find credit first. So you have to credit which account? Commissions account. So commissions account, I'm receiving 50,000 of commissions in the form of cash. Again, I don't want the cost centers. What do? I'll give backspace, come back to commissions ledger, control enter is the shortcut key. Here, control I for the detailed view. The cost centers applicability, you can convert this into no, accept this, and write down as cash. Narrations, again, don't forget to write the narrations. So these are the few examples that I have given you relating to the double entry vouchers. If there is any doubts relating to that, please let me know in the chat box. And if you have any other questions, you can just raise it up. If you want me to solve additional journal entries, you can put up a question. I'll give you the answers. So if that is clear with the double entry vouchers, I'll tell you as if how do you alter or see a certain vouchers enter into it. So you'll give escape, you'll come back to Gateway of Tally screen. And now you have to see the vouchers that you have entered into the Tally. So how do you see us in the Gateway of Tally screen? Select Daybook. It will have the list of all the vouchers that you have entered. And also, sometimes you will not find all the vouchers at a time. The problem is the period or the date. Strike on F2 function key. It will ask you to change the date. So I have to change the date into 1/5/20. 21 year already. So there are no vouchers entered, so it is not showing me any of the vouchers. Again, I'll strike on F2 1/4/21. So it will have me the detail of vouchers that I have entered into it. So this is how you view the vouchers that is entered into your Tally. And one more thing is, if you want to alter any of the details in the voucher that you have passed, you will select the voucher which you have to alter, press on enter, and you can make changes in this. You can change the amount, or you can change the narration, or you can change the particulars column details. So any changes you want to make, you can do it. And if you want to delete any one of the vouchers, if you have done it wrong, what you have to do is, you will select the voucher you have entered into. So now I have to delete this. How do you delete this? Alt plus D is the shortcut key to delete. Alt plus D. D is to delete. Press on enter. So you are done deleting the vouchers. It will not appear again. And out of this, the payment vouchers are 4 in number and the receipt vouchers are 3 in number. So this is how you can analyze the vouchers that you have entered. I'll come back to the Gateway of Tally. So now we have entered certain payment and receipt voucher. So I have the inflow and outflow of cash. So now I can see the reports. To see the reports, we'll select the balance sheet. So I have a detail. So if you want to have the detail view, here it is telling me as if capital account balance is 10 lakh rupees. I don't know where did I get this 10 lakh rupees from. And also I have the fixed assets 9 lakh rupees. I don't have the in detail of the inflow of 9 lakh rupees fixed assets. So if you want to get into the detailed view, Alt F1 is the shortcut key. It will show you which are the capital accounts and what is the amount, which are the fixed asset, what is the amount. In current assets, it's amount, and losses, it's amount. So Harish 2 lakh, Raghav 8 lakh, summed up into total 10 lakh rupees. Same as out of 9 lakh, computers are for rupees 1 lakh, furnitures are for rupees 3 lakhs, and production machineries is for 5 lakhs. So this way you can analyze. Again, if you want to see the voucher, if you click on the respective account, it will take you into the vouchers that you have entered. So is that clear? Well, and next I'll view the profit and loss account Alt F1 here also to have the detailed view. So this is the inflow of cash and this is the outflow of cash. That is the only two activity we did. So that is reflected into your P&L account. So except this, the assets and liabilities are reflected in your balance sheet. So that's about today's class. If you have any doubts, you can put up the questions in the chat box. We'll discuss. So we'll wind up for the day. Thank you for joining, guys. Bye.